Now on CoastTV News.
Remembering the Pope, honoring the late pontiff, and what is next in the Catholic Church's search for a leader.
Milton makes moves how two fast food chains are attempting to set up shops near the banks of the Broadkill.
Bridge back open. That's the plan for Slaughter Beach. We look at the impact its month-long closure has had on the community.
A toasty Tuesday for Delmarva as a warm front is bringing in temperatures near 80 degrees today. A bit milder for the rest of the week behind a cold front and remaining dry. Details coming up.
This is CoastTV News Today.
And we are making our way in our 6 o'clock hour. Good morning, I'm Matt Pensick.
And good morning, I'm Elisa Weber. It is Tuesday, April 22nd, 2025.
Bob just mentioned it. I'm going to go hello warm, maybe more than just warm weather today with some of those temperatures that he's hinting at.
I think it's almost going to be, dare I say, hot outside, 80 degrees.
I was thinking about going with that one, Bob. Are we going hot? Are we going to categorize
We're not
Tuesday
complaining
as a
either
hot?
way, though.
Yeah, no complaints on this side of the studio.
No, hot, to qualify for hot, it's got to be 88 and higher. That's kind of my cutoff. I'd say warm, very warm, and toasty. It'll be a toasty Tuesday. But before we get to that, we are seeing some showers quickly moving through Delmarva. Now they're along the coast from Dewey Beach to Ocean View and Fenwick Island, but they are quickly moving to the east. Ocean City, you're in some showers right now. You have dried out in Salisbury, but maybe still some lingering sprinkles around Snow Hill. And these could linger for another hour or so. You can see them down near Crisfield over towards Chincoteague, the showers, and they extend back into eastern parts of Virginia. So they could linger for a time as we go through the next couple of hours or so. Widen out the view. We've got a warm front moving through, and to the south and west of it, it is warm and muggy air. Then eventually a cold front will swing through and cool us off into tomorrow. We've got mid-60s from Salisbury to Milton and Georgetown. Cooler at the beaches. We are missing data from Lewis down to Bethany Beach, but upper 50s to lower 60s, Ocean Pines and Ocean City right now. And we're looking at the winds coming in out of the south and west. And here's Futurecast. I think we're getting rid of the showers by about 7 a.m. They should be offshore with temperatures quickly rising through the 60s inland areas, and with sunshine in that southwest flow, by noon we're into the mid-70s, cooler at the beaches, and then near 80 inland areas as we go into the afternoon, but a little cooler at the beaches. Don't know if we're looking at 50s, but definitely 60s to around 70 degrees and definitely warmer inland areas. If you're taking the ferry up to Cape May, we're looking at temperatures in the 60s this morning, light winds, maybe a few showers, otherwise some peaks of sun, and by late morning into the lower 70s.
Thank you, Bob. And we're going back to our live shot halfway around the world. This is St. Peter's Square at Vatican City in Rome. Many people have been flocking to this site since learning of the passing of Pope Francis. Our top story this half hour is the death of the Pope and also the funeral rites plan for the man who did lead the Catholic Church.
NBC's Alice Barr shows us attention is now turning to the Cardinals' preparation to elect a new Pope.
As tributes pour in for the people's Pope who led the Catholic Church toward a more progressive path.
Pope Francis had a way of getting the church to think outside the box.
Centuries-old traditions are underway. While the faithful mourn, cardinals are at the Vatican going through details of the funeral, their first meeting since Pope Francis's death at 88, caused, the Vatican says, by a stroke and heart failure. President Trump preparing to attend the funeral in the coming days.
He was a good man, worked hard. He loved the world.
Though as dignitaries descend, Pope Francis is being remembered most for his devotion to the least among us.
He is the Pope of the poor, the Pope of the marginalized, underprivileged.
With a heart for children, Jocelyn Aquino met Pope Francis when she was just 12 years old, greeting him on his one and only visit to the U.S. back in 2015. The daughter of immigrants from El Salvador spoke in Spanish with the first Pope from Latin America.
This is the leader of the Catholic Church. This is the most powerful man. And I was just like, wow, you spoke to me in my native language. Like, it was just amazing.
A leader who spoke to so many, even beyond the Catholic Church. He addressed Congress on that trip to Washington, never shying away from voicing his views, from ending the wars in Ukraine and Gaza to advocating for immigrants and moving toward acceptance for the LGBTQ community. Often at odds with traditionalists, he cemented his legacy as a reformer as cardinals prepare for the conclave to elect his successor and decide the next direction for the Catholic Church. In Washington, Alice Barr, NBC News.
This news in the proposed Dairy Queen in Milton looking to take the next step to becoming a reality. A public hearing is taking place tonight at the Planning and Zoning meeting about the site plans. 302 Chicken LLC, Pennoni Associates Incorporated, expected to present revisions for the fast food restaurant planned for 405 Broad Kill Road. It's right across the street from where the McDonald's is located. Also at that same meeting, the Dunkin' Donuts, set for that same area, looking to get its revised plans approved. Several of the items that are being presented include details about the sidewalks and sewer connections. Dunkin' first made its pitch to the town in the fall of 2024. The original plans call for over 2,800 square feet for the coffee chain restaurant.
If you've driven down Route 1 or Route 16, you know it is busy and the intersection of the two is dangerous. Happening today to prevent more crashes and collisions. Phase 4 of the Milton Overpass project begins. DelDOT says that project will start to reroute cars and trucks heading towards the beaches across the new overpass as construction in the surrounding area continues. Some neighbors tell CoastTV they're optimistic about the changes.
Once the summer comes, I imagine it's going to be quite busy. So this is going to relieve some of the traffic around here.
And DelDOT says to expect delays today as work takes place to shift traffic.
Delaware continuing to push electric vehicles. They're doing this by extending its rebate program, the Clean Transportation Incentive Program, now lasting through April 30th, 2026. The program provides financial support to people who buy electric vehicles and also for businesses who install charging stations. According to DENREC, people could get up to $2,500 in rebates, and the program could cover up to 90% of installation costs for businesses.
A special event zone is on its way to Ocean City. This is for the annual Cruising OC event. The town says reduced speed limits and increased fines for violations will be in place starting April 29th. There will also be a bigger focus on parking violations. The special event zone for this ends on May 4th.
New this morning in Slaughter Beach, the Cedar Creek drawbridge is scheduled to reopen in less than an hour from right now. That's according to DelDOT. It will end a month-long detour. The return to normal driving is something people living in Slaughter Beach are looking forward to.
It's actually pretty exciting because it's been down now, I guess, I don't know, a couple months. And, you know, all the people on this side, they got to go all the way back down to the other end of town and go out that way. And the other part of it is that we have a couple businesses in town, right in back of us kind of. And so for them, it's really great too.
Drawbridge closed in early March due to an unexpected malfunction.
An update on the case of Kilmar Abrego Garcia, the alleged MS-13 gang member who was living in Maryland when he was deported to a super prison in El Salvador. A State Department official tells a federal judge Abrego Garcia is no longer housed in El Salvador's CCOT prison. The official cited recent comments made by Maryland Senator Chris Van Hollen, who visited Abrego Garcia. Authorities have moved the man to a detention facility in Santa Ana. Abrego Garcia reportedly now is out of a cell and has a room with his own bed and furniture. And we're just getting started in this hour of CoastTV News Today.
Coming up, SEAL Rescue Review, how this weekend broke records for mayor, and there's also one not so happy ending to tell you about.
Also, watch for work zones. We'll tell you how Delmarva is protecting its employees during National Work Zone Awareness Week.
And fighting against algae, efforts taking place in Salisbury to do that. All that and more as CoastTV News Today continues.
6:11 on this Tuesday morning. We're seeing some showers moving through Delmarva, not in Dover right now. You're seeing some brighter skies, some blue skies, 65 there. We're seeing showers exiting the coastal areas of Delaware. Still a few showers hanging on around Long Neck and Ocean View and Fenwick Island. The bulk of the heavier showers offshore. Ocean City also seeing a few showers back through George Island Landing, back towards Chincoteague and Crisfield too. So I think we will see some showers lingering, especially across Maryland and Virginia. Virginia and points south as a warm front is lifting through, and that will bring beautiful weather. Yeah, here's the golf forecast, and bang, right in the cup, right off the bat. 80 degrees with a summer-like feel this afternoon. Remember, the UV index is moderate today, so make sure you have your sunscreen.
Practice during the off-season, nailed it. Way to go. Spring break ending for many students on Delmarva today. First day of back in schools in Maryland, Wicomico and Worcester County schools, in fact. However, Milford, Cape, and Indian River School Districts say their break isn't over until April 25th, and classes will resume April 28th.
This just in, Salisbury said it is making efforts to remove harmful algae from waterways. According to the city, its field operations will treat ponds and other waterways in May. Hydrilla and harmful algae blooms are the focus of those treatments. The city will use algicides and herbicides to prevent growth. 2 or more treatments could be necessary in areas with more severe growth.
Here's some news from overnight. Delaware Division of Motor Vehicles launching a new service to save thousands of visits to physical locations. This is for people who sell their car out of state but want to keep their license plate, and they can now apply online. The agency says it sees over 8,500 out-of-state sales each year, and the new online service is estimated to save, get this, about 9,000 trips to the DMV.
Instagram is testing artificial intelligence to sniff out teens pretending to be adults. If AI detects that an adult account actually belongs to a teenager, it will automatically implement teen account settings. Instagram's parent company Meta is making the change as industry experts debate who or what should have responsibility for age verification.
U.S. Department of Education will restart collecting federal student loans in default on May 5th. This ends a roughly 5.5-year-long pandemic-era pause and could impact more than 5 million borrowers. The department is urging the borrowers in default to start making a monthly payment, enroll in an income-driven repayment plan, or to sign up for loan rehabilitation.
We're seeing some showers moving through Delmarva this morning. Lewis, seeing those showers, the gray sky, 67 on the Irish Ice Cam right now, but improving conditions through your Tuesday as it will be a warm one for Delmarva. Temperatures near 80 degrees, slightly cooler for the rest of the week with heavier rain, I think, into Saturday. Improving conditions on Sunday. Your forecast details coming up in 2 minutes. Stay tuned.
Time is 6:16, and you're looking live at gray clouds covering the canal in Lewis. Peak temperature for the week, Bob, you're telling me it's happening today.
It's happening today. Now, Matt, it doesn't look like it out there right now. It's kind of cloudy, a little muggy, a little rainy, but it's going to warm up as we go into the afternoon. This is away from the coast. I'm expecting a high around 80 at the beaches, 60s and low 70s for you. Average high now is 68, so we'll be above that, even though we cool down Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday for highs in the low to mid 70s. Then by Saturday, 76, and we're looking at a chance of rain, maybe some storms at that time. More on that coming up. But we're seeing some showers moving through Delmarva right now. Nothing all that heavy. They're quick movers moving to the east pretty quickly. Ocean View back through Fenwick Island. You're seeing some light showers towards Ocean City. Golf Club Shores seeing showers. And it looks like more sustained showers even farther south near Chincoteague towards Frog Eye. Seeing some showers there. And also across parts of eastern Virginia. So looks like the showers could linger as you go farther south on Delmarva. But farther north, I think we're pretty much done with it in Sussex County. Maybe another sprinkle or two as we do have this warm front that's lifting through. It definitely has that muggy feel outside as you see some of those showers extending back into Virginia right now. We're looking at temperatures mild, 64 in Salisbury, 66 Georgetown and Milton at 65. Missing data from Lewis to Bethany Beach, but we're in the 50s to low 60s here right now with lower 60s in Ocean Pines and Ocean City as we do have a southwesterly flow. So I think the showers are exiting here by about 7 or 8 a.m. Otherwise, mostly cloudy skies give way to increasing sunshine. And by mid-morning, we're in the upper 60s. And then by noon, upper 70s inland areas. Cooler Cooler 60s at the coast by mid-afternoon. Lots of inland spots around 80 degrees, but at the beaches, 60s to around 74 in Lewis. And a pleasant evening on the way with temperatures in the 70s. It will cool down a little more as we go through the overnight into Wednesday morning as our flow turns in out of the north and east. So we're starting out in the 50s, and it's a slower rise tomorrow and a little cooler with lower 70s well inland. Mid to upper 60s around Millsboro and Long Neck, and then 50s and 60s at the beaches. So just a little cooler. And then into the weekend, we're watching for showers increasing on Saturday. If you're having that yard sale or have an event outside, think of a plan B, as we are looking at some showers that could be heavy at times, maybe some rumbles of thunder as well. And then we're seeing those showers decreasing as we go into Saturday night. And then I think on Sunday we get into a northerly flow, a drier flow, and a little cooler to end the weekend. Here's your Paul Davis 7-day forecast. 80 degrees today, and notice the overnight lows are milder too, into the 40s and 50s. So I'm getting in the garden to start planting. I think our frosty days are over. Going on the limb and saying that's it. 72 Wednesday, 73 Thursday, partly cloudy on Friday as well, 74. Showers and storms on Saturday, maybe some heavier rain, 76. Cooler on Sunday, and then it starts mild on Monday with 70 and partly cloudy skies.
Thank you, Bob. And happening now, National Work Zone Safety Awareness Week. DelDOT marking the occasion by honoring those on the front lines of these projects. DelDOT held a ceremony to remember workers who were injured or killed while working on roads in the state. In the last 3 years, 65 DelDOT employees were hurt in work zone crashes. 13 of those injuries were serious.
The national slogan is respect the zone so we all get home. And at the end of the day, I just want everybody to get home to their families. And so again, I hope that folks will slow down and pay attention while driving through work zones.
And DelDOT says it continues to make road worker safety priority a key here until injuries reach zero. Maryland encouraging drivers to move over and slow down. They say that so everyone can make it back home.
CoastTV Chief Meteorologist Paul Williams hosted a fundraiser Monday night at Nicola Pizza in Lewis, all to support his annual Walk for Prostate Cancer. The event featured a silent auction, a 50-50 raffle, with all proceeds going towards the cause. The Walk for Prostate Cancer is scheduled for September 13th.
Yeah, Lisa, I can attest, good turnout here. A lot of people watching CoastTV, and I got to get my picture taken with the man of the hour, Paul Williams there. It's great seeing so many people wanting to help a cause. It really does mean a lot to us here at CoastTV.
Did you win the 50-50?
I have not heard, so I'm going to take that as a no.
All right, well, up next on CoastTV News today, Seal Rescue Review will tell you how many animals MERS says ended up on Delaware shores over the weekend. Don't go anywhere. Happening today, celebrate Earth Day with beach cleanup. People can give back to the environment at the DuPont Nature Center by participating in an event hosted by DNREC. According to the agency, cleanup starts at the Slaughter Beach Pavilion, and a limited amount of trash bags and gloves will be provided. That event begins at 10 a.m.
Mayor had a busy Easter holiday weekend, responding to a record 5 seals along Delaware beaches, plus a dolphin. Fortunately, we have to tell you that one older gray seal named Leo passed away near the Indian River Inlet. Mayor says most of the rescued seals rested for a while before returning to the water.
Coming up this Friday and Saturday, head on over to Harrington Fairgrounds for the DSN Outdoor Expo. On Friday the 25th, that will run from 3 p.m. to 8 p.m. And on Saturday the 26th, that will run from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. The DSN Outdoor Expo at the Harrington Fairgrounds this weekend. And Matt, students in Delaware who are still lucky and on spring break are in for some nice weather today.
Yeah, I think students in Maryland are saying, hey,
I know.
What about us?
Be a little jealous.
They're going to watch
Maybe
Bob.
Maybe you can get like a class outside or something.
Yeah, I always push for class outside on days like today, Bob.
Yeah.
Field trips.
Yeah, ooh,
yeah. That's a good thing to have today. And you're probably looking out the window right now. You're saying field trip. It's kind of rainy out there, but the rain will start to move out as we go through the next hour or two. So still some showers at the coast, but Chincoteague and Assateague seeing sunshine as we go later in the day with lower 70s for you in Chincoteague. Assateague, I think you're lagging behind a little bit with temperatures in the 60s. UV index is moderate. Make sure you have the sunscreen. Fenwick Island, some showers early on and then some sun later with mid 70s. I think it's low 70s 70s for highs in Ocean City. It's inland areas that are near 80, even Cambridge 80 today. Then cooler Wednesday and Thursday. And then Crisfield, we have some showers lingering this morning for a little while, and then drier and cooler as we go into Wednesday and Thursday. Then it looks like the weekend could start a little wet. I'll have much more on your forecast coming up in the next half hour.
After the break on Coast TV News today, overpass progress persists. We'll tell you what traffic changes you can expect today that could throw a wrench in your morning commute.
Also, Pope Francis' funeral plans, what the 88-year-old pontiff requested in his last will.
An Earth Day dilemma, why celebrating the environment may prove difficult across the country. Coast TV News today. We'll be right back.
Now on Coast TV News.
Reaction and plans as the world remembers Pope Francis, what to expect in the selection of the next Catholic Church leader.
Traffic takes turn. New changes are in effect for Route 1 near Milton. How this design is aimed to eliminate crashes.
Clean energy extension, why Delaware is pushing EV program incentives into 2026.
A toasty Tuesday for Delmarva as a warm front is bringing in temperatures near 80 degrees today. A bit milder for the rest of the week behind a cold front and remaining dry. Details coming up.
This is Coast TV News Today.
April 22nd, 2025. Good morning, everybody. I'm Matt Pensick. Good morning, Elisa.
Good morning, Matt. Good morning. I'm Elisa Weber. Thank you for joining us.
Yeah, we're approaching 6:29 on this Tuesday morning. Cap fans in the NHL waking up, rocking the red. We'll have Alex Ovechkin's heroics later in this half hour.
Your tie. I just noticed. Did you do that on purpose?
What do you think?
Yes.
Came up in the rotation, at least. That's the answer. Oh, that is the standard answer. It is rare that I coincide ties with actual events. It is rare.
All right. Well, I know someone else who is waking up happy this morning. It's Mets super fan, Bob Trihey. Good morning, Bob.
Super fan. Yeah. I've been a fan since I've been 5 years old. I've been a long time fan of the Mets, yes. I hung on for the win. And I thought Matt's tie was more like Rutgers. Red burgundy, maybe. Ooh, maybe a little bit there. Maybe a little bit. We're looking at the showers moving through Delmarva very quickly now. They moved through Sussex County in the last hour or so. Now moving offshore, so you're dry now from Lewis down to Ocean Pines. Still some showers hanging on a little farther south towards Chincoteague right now, but Salisbury, you are dry. And from Chincoteague over to Crisfield, Eastern Virginia, still some lingering showers here. And the Eastern Shore right now is dry. We're seeing some of these showers along a warm front, and this is the leading edge to that mild and muggy air that will be building in today. In fact, warm, but then there's a cold front back to our west, and that will start to cool us off as we go into tonight. But right now, we're in the 60s inland areas, 50s and 60s at the coast right now, 60 in Ocean City with a southwesterly breeze. So we're looking at departing showers, increasing sun, and those temperatures skyrocketing. By noon, we're into the 70s inland areas, 60s at the coast, 60s and 70s. I think is our final landing spot at the beaches with 70s and low 80s across inland areas. And then we're looking at a mild evening for Delmarva. Bus stop forecast for the kids. No school in Delaware, but it's back to school in Maryland for Ocean City and Salisbury, 66. Showers early, otherwise a warm afternoon, heading home warm and dry and 80 degrees.
Thank you, Bob. And our top story this half hour on this particular Earth Day, a U.S. city that's below sea level is one of several recovering from flooding.
Amy Kiley has more on New Orleans and other flood-ravaged areas of the country.
This is insane.
On this Earth Day, parts of the U.S. are dealing with ongoing flood risks after deadly storms.
I'm in a truck SUV, and the water is like almost halfway up my doors. It's crazy out here.
This video is from the New Orleans area, where some evening commuters had to take refuge on higher ground yesterday.
Welcome to Nola River. As y'all can see, this is going on. I've been stuck here for like 30 minutes. We see all the cars, look around.
Some who ventured out appear to have encountered difficulty, including stalls and at least one crash.
When's your shift supposed to end?
5 o'clock.
You think you're going to get home?
9 o'clock.
The Army Corps of Engineers says it took advantage of the high water to test a spillway north of the city.
We're expecting it to crest at 16.5 feet on April 30th. We do this when the river's high enough, as you all can see behind me. The river's pushing through the structure itself, and that's very close to when we actually operate, how conditions are.
Flooding also in parts of the Houston area yesterday. In Oklahoma, several people are dead after weekend storms. They include 2 children and their mothers who were swept away in floodwaters. Officials say dozens of others required high water rescues. I'm Amy Kiley reporting.
Now taking a live look at St. Peter's Square at Vatican City in Rome. Mourners can pay their respects with the body of Pope Francis displayed for the first time this morning. Francis's body lying in a wooden coffin in red vestments and his bishop's mitre. Cardinals are in the process of scheduling Pope Francis's funeral and burial. More immediate, they will determine when his body can be moved into St. Peter's Basilica for public viewing.
Asking the Lord's mercy on his immortal soul, thanking God for the gift that he was to us, and asking for consolation upon God's family.
His final will, Pope Francis requested burial at St. Mary Major Basilica. The 88-year-old pontiff died Monday after suffering a stroke that put him in a coma and led to his heart to fail.
If you've driven down Route 1 or 16, you know it's busy and the intersection of the two is dangerous. Happening today to prevent more crashes and collisions. Phase 4 of the Milton Overpass project begins. DelDOT says that project will start to reroute cars and trucks heading towards the beaches across the new overpass as construction in the surrounding area continues. According to the agency, people should expect delays today as work takes place to shift traffic.
Happening tonight in Milton, 2 for the price of 1, so to speak. Dunkin' Donuts and Dairy Queen will get their site plans reviewed at the town's Planning and Zoning Commission meeting. First, let's talk about Dunkin'. Several of the items that are being presented include details about sidewalks and parking, and there are also some slight revisions for stormwater drainage. This is at 403 Broadkill Road, and debate continues about Dunkin' since it was first proposed last year.
And right next door, a Dairy Queen is in its different stage. A public hearing is taking place tonight at the Planning and Zoning meeting about the site plans. 302 Chicken LLC, Pannoni Associates Incorporated, is expected to present revisions for the fast food restaurant planned for 405 Broadkill Road. That is right across the street from where the McDonald's is located.
This morning, it's a return to normal in Slaughter Beach. The Cedar Creek Drawbridge reopening at 7 a.m. It's coming soon. It's according to DelDOT. It ends a month-long detour situation. The drawbridge closed in early March due to an unexpected malfunction.
A special event zone is on its way to Ocean City. This is for the annual Cruising OC event. The town says reduced speed limits and increased fines for violations will be in place starting April 29th. There will also be bigger focus on parking violations, and that special event zone will end on May 4th.
Delaware continuing a push for electric vehicles by extending its rebate program. Clean Transportation Incentive Program will now last through April 30th, 2026. The program provides financial support to people who buy electric vehicles and businesses who install charging stations. According to DENREC, people could get up to $2,500 in rebates. The program could cover up 90% of installation costs for businesses. Still a lot more news to get to in this final half hour. Don't go anywhere.
Coming up, Seaford Seeks Aldi will tell you the next steps that are underway to bring the discount grocery store to the city.
Also, Caps and OT, the thriller in the district. We're going to hear from the captain on his game-winning goal.
Bay Bridge safety suggestions will tell you what Maryland could implement to increase safety on the major Delmarva roadway. Stay with us on CoastTV News today.
6:38 on this Tuesday morning, looking at gray skies and Laurel on the Tyndall's Casual Furniture Cam. Looks like it wants to rain. You've already had some showers, maybe a lingering shower through the morning. Otherwise, temperatures warming through the 60s and 70s with increasing sunshine. The showers have moved off the coast of Delaware, but they're still lingering through Maryland and Virginia near Chincoteague, Shelltown, Crisfield. You're seeing some of those showers through areas of eastern Virginia, and they could linger down here for a little while, but farther to the north, I think we're drying out as a warm front is lifting through. That is ushering in much warmer air as we go through the day. So if you're living in Maryland, make sure you have the umbrella and raincoat this morning. And then I think everybody needs the windbreaker today. And then you'll need the sunscreen this afternoon as it really warms up. And summer clothes a must, I think, as we go into the afternoon. And make sure you have the sunglasses as well, as the sunshine will be increasing. Umbrella giveaway winner today is Tori Duracek from Millsboro. Congratulations to her. Square. From Paul Davis and Coast TV.
Thank you, Bob. Delaware Governor Matt Meyer announced his nomination of Joshua Sanderlin to serve as Delaware's new marijuana commissioner. This comes after the former commissioner stepped down in January. Sanderlin's nomination will require confirmation by the Delaware State Senate. And to Maryland, the Transportation Authority is developing a risk reduction plan for the Bay Bridge following safety recommendations from the National Transportation Safety Board. According to the MDTA, the department is taking action after a federal report raised concerns about how vulnerable bridges are to vessel strikes. Officials say they hired an expert firm to study the risk, and MDTA says it is looking at short-term steps like slower ship speeds and long-term fixes like adding barriers to protect the bridge.
First round of the NHL playoffs is underway, and as they have done 3 previous times in franchise history, the Capitals are the top seed in the East. Seeding does not mean much in the postseason. Caps fans, you know what I'm talking about here, as the roller coaster ride started Monday night against the Canadiens. It's another year of playoff hockey in D.C., and late in the first, the puck finds its way to Alex Ovechkin. He rips it home. Caps open with a 1-0 lead. A lead the Capitals would hold until 4 minutes left in regulation, and there the Canadiens' Nick Suzuki beats Logan Thompson. We're tied at 2, and we are headed to overtime, where, just 2 minutes in, there goes the Caps hero. Ovechkin does it again, the game winner. It's the first overtime playoff goal in the long career of the Great Eight, sending the arena crowd into a frenzy. Afterwards, it was a pretty calm captain.
I think it was a great play by Stromer win the faceoff. It was kind of a little scrum, and but we have a first shot, and then he tried to find me out there, and good things happen.
Capitals take the 1-0 series lead with a 3-2 overtime win. Game 2 Wednesday night in the district. Let's go to New York. It's where Francisco Lindor hit 2 home runs Monday night and leading the Mets to a 5-4 win over the Phillies. Phillies made it interesting in the 9th, scoring all 4 of their runs, but they could not complete the comeback. Coming up tonight on the Delmarva Sports Network, 8:30, NCAA men's lacrosse, Salisbury University, home with St. Mary's, and then it is the final score at 10:30. Over on the DSM Plus app, you get the Seagulls lacrosse game along with these exclusives. At noon, we got Henlopen Conference Baseball. That's when Milford hosts Polytech. 4 o'clock, we go to the Bayside Conference when Queen Anne's takes on St. Michael's. 4:30, Sussex Central hosting Decatur in high school softball.
Into the Trenches is back for its 3rd season this year. We will follow the Cape Henlopen Vikings football team fresh off of their first state championship appearance in 40 years. DSN takes you to the practice field, inside the locker rooms, and on the sidelines as the team hopes to prove themselves once again amongst the top teams in Delaware Class 3A. Into the Trenches premieres Thursday, April 24th at 7:30 on DSN and DSN+. And the Motion Picture Academy has announced some new rules and regulations, including one that directly affects Oscar votes. David Daniel has that and more in today's Hollywood Minute.
It may seem obvious, but now it's official. Motion Picture Academy members must watch all of the nominated films in a category to vote in that category. Before, voters were encouraged to see every nominee before voting. Now it's a requirement. The Academy also announced guidelines for its newest category, Achievement in Casting. That award debuts on the 98th Academy Awards, March 15th, 2026.
Those kids walked out of those homes. No one pulled them out. No one forced them.
A group of children mysteriously disappears overnight in Weapons. The first teaser trailer for the horror film just dropped. Weapons, from Barbarians writer-director Zach Kreger, is due in theaters August 8th.
We have to fix this.
Okay, fine. What do we do?
We trade our top talent, Paris and New York. Put fresh faces out there. Get people interested in dance again.
Rival ballet companies find a way for the show to go on in Étoile. The executive producers of Gilmore Girls and The Marvelous Mrs. Maisel are behind the comedy series. All 8 episodes dance onto Prime Video Thursday. Staying on point in Hollywood, I'm David Daniel.
And here's what you can look forward to today on Coast Life at 4.
Coming up today on Coast Life, we have a truly great debate. We're talking social media. Is it helpful? Is it harmful? Is it maybe a little bit of both? We're going to get into it. And then, as we always like to do here on Coast Life, we're going to have some adorable animals. We've got a petting zoo situation that you're not going to want to miss. You're going to see which ones vibe with us and which ones, ow, maybe give me a little nip. That's coming up today at 4 on Coast Life.
We are seeing some gray skies right now in Lewis on the Irish Isles. Cam, the showers have moved offshore, and we'll see some sunshine today. It will be a toasty Tuesday for Delmarva. Temperatures near 80 away from the coast. Slightly cooler for the rest of the week. Heavier rain, I think, into Saturday with some storms. I'll have your forecast details in 2 minutes. Stay tuned.
The time is now 6:47, and we're taking a live look outside at Rehoboth Beach this morning. And Bob, that might be a popular place right there on the boardwalk today, as it's going to be warm. A little bit of chances of rain, you said this morning. We can see some of those clouds in the air, but later on, yeah.
That's right, Alicia. You can see the darker clouds moving offshore and the brighter skies taking over as we're seeing the showers moving offshore. And I'm sure we'll see more activity on the beach later today as the weather improves, but still some morning showers can linger, especially across southern areas around Maryland. And I know they're going back to school today, so maybe some raindrops for the kiddos on the bus stop. Otherwise, near 80 degrees inland areas, cooler for the coast. And then the rest of the week, I think, is dry. We're looking at nice temperatures in the low to mid 70s. I think it does get unsettled into the weekend, however. And we're looking at those showers now beginning to move offshore. We had them from Lewis down to Bethany Beach and a good chunk of Sussex County, but now things are starting to dry out. Still mostly cloudy, but we're still seeing lingering rain around Crisfield to Westover, near north of Chincoteague, near George Island Landing now. And these showers also linger and continue across areas of eastern Virginia, while across the eastern shore we're seeing a break now. So I think for the most part the showers will linger farther to the south this morning, and you can see those showers extending back into Virginia as we have a warm front lifting to the north. And you step outside, you could definitely feel that we're on the warmer side of this front with the warm and muggy conditions. There is a cold front back to the west. Now that will swing in later today and then tonight too, and then shift our winds to the northeast and cool us down as high pressure builds in from the northwest, but it will still be pleasant. It's just a little cooler as we go into tomorrow. 64 in Salisbury, Georgetown 66, Milton 65. Apologize for the missing data along the coast, but Rehoboth to Bethany Beach and Ocean City are in the lower 60s now, and the wind's starting to come in out of the southwest. So we'll see decreasing clouds through the morning hours. By mid-morning on Futurecast, here's 9 a.m., mid to upper 60s inland, 50s and 60s at the beaches. By the noon hour, we're into the mid to upper 70s inland areas, and at the coast, 60s and low 70s. I think that 59 in Dewey Beach is a little cool, around 72 in Rehoboth, 71 in Lewis, and then by 3, 80 in Salisbury and Millsboro. We're in the 60s and low 70s at the beaches, so looking pleasant, especially if you're away from the coast as we go through the evening hours. Then through the overnight, that front comes through, the wind shift to the northeast. It will cool it down into Wednesday morning in the low 50s, and with that onshore flow, cooler tomorrow, so we're only in the 50s and 60s at the beaches and 60s and low 70s inland. So a good 10 degrees cooler tomorrow than today. We're looking at clouds as we head into the weekend. Here's later Friday. If you have outdoor plans on Saturday, we're looking at showers. Some of those showers could be heavy, maybe some rumbles of thunder too. I know it's not the best timing, but it looks like we salvage the second half of the weekend with drier and cooler conditions on Sunday. Paul Davis 7-day forecast, 80 today, and then we're in the lower 70s Wednesday, Thursday, and mid-70s Friday with partly cloudy skies. Then that storm chance into your Saturday, 76, cooler 66 on Sunday, and then Monday partly cloudy and 70 degrees.
Thank you, Bob. If you have unused prescriptions that you are no longer using, this Saturday, April 26, locations all across Delmarva are participating in National Drug Take Back Day. This includes the Milton Police Department, Rehoboth Beach Police Department, and Maryland State Police Barracks in Salisbury and Berlin.
In Maryland, MDOT has opened applications for up to $2 million through a Bikeways Network grant program. If you didn't know, that's a program aimed at expanding bicycle infrastructure and improving safety across the state. Grants support projects like building trail connections and bike lanes, with funding available for up to 80% of eligible costs. The deadline to apply is May 26th.
Popular grocery chain is looking to set up shop in Seaford. A final public hearing on the Aldi store will take place at Tuesday night's City Council meeting. According to plans, the location is on Route 13. It's across from the Lowe's Shopping Center after the public hearing. Still need to get some approvals since it is on a state road. Shoppers we spoke with say they're looking forward to having more options.
Absolutely. It's a great place to live. It's a slower pace of life than where we're from, which was outside of D.C. And I enjoy that about it, but at the same time, we want to have the good shopping and see things progress.
Public hearing held tonight starting at 7 at City Hall in Seaford.
The time is now 6:52, and we are going to check in with our coastal pet of the day.
And today's coastal pet of the day, a playful pup on your screen. That is Bella, everybody. You can see where she's laying that Bella loves to play with that cat toy, that cat tree. Bella was submitted to us by Mike and Cindy in Selbyville.
And we want to see more of your pets on Delmarva. Send us photos and tell us what makes them so special. You can take a look at your screen.
Scan that QR code, get your friends to us, and then watch weekdays from 5 to 7 a.m. to see all the pets we feature.
It is 6:55, and here are the things you need to know before you go. Happening today to prevent more crashes and collisions, Phase 4 of the Milton Overpass project will begin. This is near the intersection of Route 16 and Route 1. DelDOT says that project will start to reroute cars and trucks heading towards the beaches across the new overpass as construction in the surrounding areas continues.
National Work Zone Safety Awareness Week underway, and DelDOT marked the occasion by honoring those on the front lines. They held a ceremony to remember workers who were injured or killed while keeping Delaware roads safe. Maryland encouraging drivers to move over and slow down, they say, so that everyone can make it back home.
MER had a busy holiday weekend responding to a record 5 seal rescues along Delaware beaches, plus a dolphin. MER says most of the seals rested for a while before returning to the water, but one older gray seal named Leo passed away near the Indian River Inlet. And the time is now 6:56, so we're going to take another look at that toasty Tuesday forecast.
Yeah, Bob, I'm going to get sunny and 75. You know I like that one.
I can do 5 degrees better than
Wow.
sunny and 80
Wow.
inland. You know, at the coast. It's a little disclaimer there. It's going to be in the 60s and 70s. Want to take a quick look at the clouds and radar. We have dried out across Sussex County, Eastern Shore dry. Still some lingering showers from Crisfield to Westover, George Island Landing. I know it's back to school in Maryland, so some lingering showers for you as you go through the morning hours. Otherwise, clouds do start to decrease, warming from the 60s into the 70s and right around 80 degrees as we go into the afternoon hours. Kind of a muggy feel too. Here's a Paul Davis 10-day forecast looking at mild overnight lows, or like not frosty, but we're looking at 40s and 50s for lows. And Wednesday 72, partly cloudy. We keep it really nice Thursday and Friday, low 70s with a mix of sun and clouds. By Saturday, I think we're looking at some rain, some storms. I know it's not the best timing, but kind of wet on Saturday, 76, and then drier and cooler Sunday, 66, and then next week looks pretty nice, 70s Monday and Tuesday, and then it's back to the low 80s by next Wednesday and Thursday with partly cloudy skies.
Thank you, Bob, and thank you for joining us here for Coast TV News Today.
And the Today Show is coming up next at 7 a.m.
Then be sure to tune in to Coast TV midday at 11.
And for even more news and coverage and count on, you can download our Coast TV News and weather apps. Have a great Tuesday morning, everybody.